Okay, calling to order the Finance Committee June 6, 2016 meeting. First order of business are some reserve transfers for the DPW.
Right.
All right, Benji, could you speak to these, please?
Which one do you have? Which one are you looking at?
Let's start with, you mind, Mike? Let's start with the street lighting.
Good.
All right.
Have you guys all set with us? Okay. Go ahead, Benji.
Well, every year there's not enough money in street lighting. I asked to have it raised at the beginning of the year when we all meet,
Yep.
and more or less it's just come back to us later on in June, and we need money, we'll give you the money. There is a rate change there,
Yep.
and going forward, we're hoping we're going to save a lot of money, so I don't have to come here and ask for a reserve change.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to, so this isn't the cause of the shortage, this is the future, this is the good news.
Yes.
Okay, like, it doesn't make sense with new rates lower. You're saying in the future, you probably won't have to come back?
Correct.
Because okay, that's what I was confused about. Want to talk about them all first? Maybe usually how we
I
do
just
it.
had a question.
Go ask all your questions.
Have we looked into how much LED lighting is going to cost if you did the whole?
We are getting a quote from National Grid. I believe we have to purchase all the LEDs. And then, so, I mean, that's going to be a cost in itself.
Right,
But then you'll see your savings after
big
we
savings,
purchase
I
them.
think, too, with LEDs. I
The,
mean, a third.
Chairman Tim Gordon, the Administrator Tim Gordon has been working with National Grid on possibly changing everything over to LEDs. So
Okay, thanks.
we have been talking about it, and we have looked into it.
Any more questions on the street lighting?
Yeah, I guess, Benji, we're moving it from the reserve account? Okay. And we're moving 20,000 into reserve,
No, moving it from reserve
from reserve into...
to his street lighting account.
Yep.
And how much do we currently have? How much do we currently have in that
He
account?
doesn't know. I, according to this, $97,000. $97,057.
Is this going into FY17 or is
No,
that?
this was FY16, we have $97,000 reserved for these very end-of-year situations.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, now, we don't meet again till when, do we know?
The end of the month, I believe.
The end of the month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is what comes up, from now until July 15th, as people go through their records and stuff, there may be situations where they can transfer money from one account to another. I'm sure you've looked at that already.
Right.
I'm sure you guys have already looked at it, so that's, so are we going to need the reserve or not? I mean, he's the first, I'd say he's first come, first served, it really isn't that, but I don't know what, Luke, did you mention?
Yeah, just, mine's just, ours is just an expense to salaries.
Oh, yeah, that's a separate situation, yeah. So, so this is the only reserve transfers we have right now before us. We'll get me at the end of the month, so I don't see that. Are you just figuring it out?
Yes.
Any more questions specific to street lighting, then we can move on to the next one, just so we can say we talked about all three. I want to go to the pay monthly bills, $5,000.
Correct. There are 10 sewer pump stations in the town of Holbrook. Just the National Grid bill alone is $2,500 each month. Plus, you have Verizon, because there are dial-ups on these pump stations that when they fail, they either call the town hall or they call the fire department to get someone to respond. Also, you have a Verizon bill, you have the electric bill, and some of the stations have gas. So we have to pay Columbia gas bill also. And the gas runs the backup generator to each station.
Which one's Boydco? I didn't.
All right, Boyko is the company who services the pump stations, okay?
Yep.
What's been happening lately, the pumps have been clogging, so nobody in my department can pull the pumps out and take them apart. So this company this is what they do.
Been outsourcing, it has to be outsourced.
Well, it's always been that way.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, like you said, it's not in the skill set of your department.
Right.
Anybody have a question on the transfer for $5,000, the bills for running the sewer pumps?
Is that the one where
it names the account where it would be coming from, but there's more in that account.
No, this is requested 5,000 from our reserve fund to go into their sewer expense fund.
I've got a breakdown here of
See?
the Boyko, I mean, for the
These are all,
sanitary waste.
yeah, sewer reserve fund.
So you're
Right,
saying
oh, I'm sorry.
you need an
Thank you.
additional 5,000 in
Right,
addition.
that's just for the monthly bill.
Correct.
All right, so it was already appropriated, the
The
5,800.
1,500 in his account is going to be short. He's saying, even though I have 1,500 because of these bills, I need an additional 5,000 to pay it off.
Okay.
From the sewer reserve, not from our reserve. That's a good point. I'm glad I read it again. So there's a reserve fund. We have like 25,000 roughly. Plenty.
And the sewer reserve is 75,000.
Yeah. So you're right. It's a good point.
Not the general, sewer enterprise.
So same for the 28,000 come from the sewer reserve. So that 97,000 I quoted earlier is the only one that'll be impacted by that is the 20,000 for street lighting. These reserve fund in the sewer account, I think there's one for water as well, has their own reserve, which 75,000 is. That's a big difference in my mind. Paul, any? Good. And then the last one we can discuss is the 28,000 for the purchase and installation of a new pump for Plymouth Street.
Correct. I mentioned this to this board back in March, I believe. We touched on it, that I had to purchase 2 pumps.
Yep.
That one there, I believe, is for the Plymouth Street station. And come July, I got to purchase another one, a little bit less than that, for the Brookville station. The pumps, I mean, they've done their time, I guess. I mean, the stations are a Boyko station. They build sewer pump stations. So I tried to get a price from another company, but they can't take their parts and put it into their pumps because it's their pump. So I'd have to replace everything, which would be like $50,000 versus almost the $30,000 there.
Anyone have a question on replacing of the sewer pump?
No?
Cindy, question for you. Thank you. I think we're all set. Can I sign this as I'm not as an acting chair? Because I'm just,
I have to come up.
sorry, that's okay. Kevin is the chairman and Paul, and Pete is the vice chairman.
Yeah.
Neither one of you, doesn't matter, as long as who's,
No, it's-
between
as long
Mike and
as
I,
it's Majority of the board,
majority of the board, okay.
Okay.
Majority of the board, and whoever wants to sign can sign.
Yep, okay, and we'll fill it all
Just
out. You can help us sign it, we'll sign them after the meeting, if that's okay?
That's fine.
Then we'll work it out.
Get them.
Right, well, you're going to be here when we sign it to make sure we do it correctly. Okay, assuming we're going to pass them. Who wants to, go
Also,
ahead.
discussion on the street lighting. We
Yep.
have 97,000 in reserve. This is an ask for 20,000. We still have about a month and a half before we
Yep.
need to sign the books. Does it make sense to go forward with this? Any thoughts about approving it tonight versus deferring until later in the month? Benji, does it matter to you?
Well, I'll be in deficit right now because I got to pay for May. And I'm not funded. I believe I only have 5,000 left in the account. And the bill was 12,000.
Yeah, this,
So I won't be able to pay May's bill if I don't get some money.
We've had less in the account, Mike. We used to only have 75,000 in stock in the reserve fund in the past, so I'm thinking.
sewer, not.
No, street lighting, we have the street lighting.
Okay.
So we said,
Right.
so for the street lighting,
Yeah.
so in my opinion, Mike, I think we can approve it. I was afraid that we get to the meeting and then somehow we don't have a quorum at his meeting and he's come forward. I mean, a lot of people, Chief McFadden's already said he thinks he's just going internal. The police chief would be here if he required anything.
Streetlight has its own line item too.
Yeah.
It's not DPW, it's its own line. item.
Right.
So it can't be commingled within any of the expenses within DPW. It's its own
Right.
line item. So, and they only pay 10 months of bills. And then you're in, but we checked the rate, the rate's been rehashed, it's
Right.
done and everything, and it's going on. The savings will be seen at some point in time, like Ben said.
I believe the
But right
April-
now, we sent back the bill because there was, I don't know, there was so much money left and they wanted to pay a bill. I said, you've got to go to the reserve.
The April bill was like 14,000.
Yeah,
Another, March, I believe, was
Yeah.
like 15.
you got it.
May was 12,000 something, and they should be starting to come down. Plus, we have the new rate in place also, which wasn't there the whole fiscal year.
When was that effective, though, that rate?
I believe May.
Yeah. By the time they catch up to it, you can only pay 12 months of bills in a fiscal year. And we checked, and it was 10 months of bills, and then they sent the bill up, and I sent it back down. Can't pay it, there's not enough money.
Oh, so it's on a budget plan?
It's not $160,000.
Same thing every month?
In accounting, you can only pay 12 months of bills within, like National Grid or Columbia Gas or anything, or Verizon. You can't pay 13 months in one fiscal year. The state will come on you like that.
Right.
So that's what you have to watch. And
Right, so-
it is,
so-
but it is.
So these are the final two bills for the year. So you've paid 10, these are the final two to make it, and it's more than expected, but for the next 12, we expect to be at the new rate and not have the same situation in the next year. That's our expectation. Makes sense? To your question, Mike, my question, my opinion is I'm comfortable voting the 20,000 just because I think 77 will, with no one being here, getting through. And I think with the overtime, you're all set. I know it's early, it's 1 month left, but as right now, you think overtime will be fine. And usually it's police and fire, I think, generally. So that's just my opinion. I mean, anyone want to defer it, or are we comfortable moving forward? Someone needs to move, and someone should move in second.
I motion.
You make a motion to,
approve.
we're gonna do one at a time. To approve, I'll say it, this way we clear it up. Looking for a motion to transfer from the reserve fund 20,000, to the street lighting account 01-424-5210-000. So moved.
I move.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Get it all messed up here, sorry. You know when you're ready? Ready. Does anyone want to make a motion to move 5,000 from the sewer reserve fund to be transferred to the sewer expense fund, 27-425-5421-000?
So this is where this line item is separate?
No, the
correct?
street lighting one is a separate one. This is the sewer expenses, but they have their own reserve fund for the sewer expenses.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? And the third transfer for tonight would be from sewer reserve fund, again, the sewer reserve, $28,730, to be transferred to the sewer expense fund, 27-425-5421-000, for the new pump station in Plymouth Street. So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Does anybody have anything else they want to bring up? Do we have to approve minutes?
Yes. When was that meeting?
When was town hall?
It
was
was
it?
5.
Remember the date? The date of town hall, was it 5/6, May 6th? What was the date? Do you even remember?
5/11?
Was it May 11?
Town meeting, sorry, town hall, sorry, town meeting.
I got it somewhere.
Okay.
5/11.
Thank you.
So motion to approve the minutes from May 11?
Second.
All right.
I don't know if you're asking or making it. Any discussion? All in favor? I couldn't figure out what you were doing.
Either.
Anybody in the room had anything else to bring up? If not, we can motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
Fine.
Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you, everybody. We're all set.